Good afternoon, everybody. I now call upon the College Chaplain, Father Michael Wall, to read the conferring blessing.
Schlucht as litter nef pól cigne hefishig. Sinne fó a dhémer malún I víne sean ahar on nan meter gach clown nav agus talav. Go dugus shadív as olvahas lóra go bhaig siv nart agus cumas in bhénach trin spirit. Go meg Christ ivu grí trí crediv agus go meg siv prévathe agus bunathe sa gró lí go bhéidig siv féin agus na níomh go léir, ad agus lehead agus iade agus dainas a hiiscint. Go gurrig siv ólas ar grá Christ a thóas chun tiiscinne, agus go lín for siv de línhracht umlán dé. Glór don téú de bhéad ó I bhad níos mó dhéanamh, ná mar a díorframiste féin a ná smínig féin tríd an cócht atá ag obair oning. Glór go raibh ges san Anglis agus I Gríst Isa ó lún go brach na brethe. Amen.
I am pleased to call on the Vice President for Research of the University of Limerick, Professor Noor Kennedy, to formally convene a meeting of the University for the purpose of conferring academic awards.
President, Mary Immaculate College, members of the Mary Immaculate College Governing Authority and trustees, members of Conferring Academic Council, faculty members, distinguished guests, families, friends, and graduates of the class of 2023. A meeting of the university is hereby convened for the purpose of conferring academic awards. Exercising the power granted to the University of Limerick by Oireachtas Éireann, I hereby confer awards of the university on the graduates of the Faculty of Education. Students not present are hereby conferred in absentia.
I am pleased to call on the Deputy Chairperson of the Board of Trustees and Governing Authority of Mary Immaculate College, Dr. Áine Lawler, to make an address of welcome.
Professor Noor Kennedy, Vice President Research at the University of Limerick, Professor Eugene Wall, President of Mary Immaculate College, members of Mary Immaculate College Governing Authority and trustees, and Comhairle Acadúil, Academic Council, faculty members, families, friends, and especially the graduates of the class of 2023. Díomh go léir agus 100 míle fáilte roimh go dtéann ócáid speisialta seo brunna dá bhachtaí acadúla I go láiste mhuire gan small. A very warm welcome to this very special occasion, the conferring of academic awards in Mary Immaculate College. As Deputy Chair of the Trustees and of the Governing Authority, I am deputising here today for the Chair, Bishop Brendan Leahy. Bishop Brendan regrets that he cannot be with you today, but he sends you his warmest congratulations and very best wishes. This is a great day of celebration for you, the graduates, and I offer each of you sincere congratulations on having achieved your award in your chosen area of study. And I note that there are 55 awards listed over the 2 days in these conferring ceremonies. And this is testament to the breadth and depth of the opportunities available to students, the 5,000 plus students in this college. Mary Immaculate College was founded 125 years ago, originally as a Catholic college of education to educate primary school teachers, and we see how it has expanded since then. Over the years, the college has earned a fine reputation for the quality of its work in education and in the liberal arts. The college mission statement underpins this work, and it says that, and I quote, "The college community promotes excellence in teaching, learning and research at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. It seeks to foster the intellectual, spiritual, personal and professional development of students within a supportive and challenging environment that guarantees the intellectual freedom of staff and students. In particular, the college seeks to foster in its students a spirit of justice and compassion in the service of others, together with an openness to the religious tradition and values of each individual. The college promotes a sense of identity enriched by an awareness of its Catholic tradition, the cultures, languages and traditions of Ireland, and its special commitment to the Irish language. Mary Immaculate College respects cultural diversity. It strives to promote equity in society and to provide an environment where all have freedom and opportunity to achieve their full potential. And there I finish quoting the mission statement. And in case you ever want to read it again, I think it's up on the wall here behind me, which I didn't know when I wrote this. And you will also find it on the inside cover of your book here today. But I hope that each of you, the graduates today, can identify with the mission statement from your experience as a student in this college. But I believe the opening words, those three words, the college community, are particularly significant. Mary Immaculate College is a wonderful community, a vibrant group of people encompassing staff and students, where there is cooperation and collaboration, mutual respect and a willingness to engage. As a member of the trustee group and of the governing authority, I am very aware of the excellence in teaching, learning and research, which is undertaken by the dedicated, committed staff of the college here, under the leadership of President Eugene Wall and his senior management team. And for that, I want to say congratulations and thank you to each of you. And this is where I deviate a little from the script, to say my own personal thanks to Mary Immaculate College. I mentioned that the college was founded 125 years ago. Now, if my division is right, divide that by 2 and you get something like 62 and a half. And I am very pleased to say that I have been associated with Mary Immaculate College for nearly that length of time, 56 years to be precise, because I came here as a 17-year-old student on the National Teacher Diploma Programme, the only programme in the college at the time. And I exited at 19 years of age, imagine still a teenager, as a fully qualified primary school teacher. And I also had a rung on the ladder, if you like, a step on the rung of the ladder to a further qualification, because a few of us were able to do, or anybody could do it, but a few of us embarked on what was called the first university common. It was first arts, and you had to do an extra Overrounach elective subject, Irish English, 2 elective subjects, and your scripts were examined by the National University of Ireland, whereby we were lucky enough to be awarded first arts. So there was even an association with universities back in those days, 1969. And I'm very happy to see somebody here in front of me today that I also very much associate with this college, Sister Angela Bugler, who was previously a president here. And Sister Angela was lecturing in history. I didn't do history as a special subject. No, sorry, French, sorry. But I'll tell you a little aside. I'm sorry now for wasting a little bit of time. Sister Angela was in charge of the library. And as students, we each had to do a little bit of housework every day, just to equip us for life. And it rotated, but my 20 minutes for a certain period in the morning was in the library. And I didn't understand, is it the Dewey Decimal System, you call it, of categorising books in a library? And I was assigned to the geography section, which was one of my special subjects. And I liked good order and method and everything. So I took it on myself to fix that section of the library. And I put all the books in nice order, size-wise, and then colour-wise, etc. Much to the disgust, I think, of Sister Angela and Sister Regina, the geography lecturer, who was told about it as well. But I must say that the start, I'll call it, you got the start. The start we got here, there were 120 of us in our year. It was a big year, the 67, 69 year. The start we got here set us up for life, really, as people and as educators, because we were expected to work very hard, and standards were very high. And we did have a long day. I think most days we had 9 hours lectures, and we even worked a half day on Saturday. And then if you lived locally, as I more or less did in Tulla, 20 miles out the road, you hopped on the bus down at Spates around 20 to 3 on a Saturday evening, and you were given a lift back by one of the parents, maybe if you were lucky on a Sunday evening, etc. And you got a half day on Wednesday, and that was, as they say, mighty. And the half day meant you could go downtown from lunchtime until the 4 o'clock tea. So we went down to the Galley and Grail and we got our burger and chips. That was the big treat of the week. But as I say, I have very fond memories of Mary Immaculate College. Everywhere I go, whenever the opportunity is appropriate, I speak of what a wonderful college it was and is. Because, as you see, it has expanded and extended. Look at the fine building we're in here in the Tolchin, the building next door, the Lime Tree. They weren't here in my day, but the foundation building was there, as it is now, and we had very fine facilities for everything we needed to do. And it's absolutely magnificent to see how this campus has developed under the various presidencies, culminating now with Eugene, and under the very watchful eye of the head of finance, the Vice President, Michael Keane, who makes sure that, as they say, we look after the enhancement of the estate. And a very fine enhancement of a very fine estate it is. So thank you to everybody that I have ever met. I have been associated again with the college in recent years, and it gives me great pride and joy to be so associated and to say a very warm thank you. I'm proud of Mary I. I say I'm a proud Mary I girl. In my day there weren't guys, but there are many proud Mary I guys nowadays, I'm sure, as well. But ultimately, you know, despite that wonderful excellence in teaching, learning and research that you have experienced through the staff that you've met and with the support of the administrative staff as well, the reputation of Mary Immaculate College is carried out by the graduates. It rests with you, the graduates, because you are the living proof of the quality of the education you received here. And Mary Immaculate graduates are highly regarded and are sought after and valued in the workplace, at home and abroad. Congratulations and thank you to all the graduates of 2023 in anticipation of your role in keeping the Mary Immaculate College name in lights, keeping the flag flying into the future. And I trust that you all will do that. At the Link graduation last Saturday, I spoke about the coordinator's role in promoting a culture of care in the early childhood care and education settings. And I want to say to you today, whatever award you are receiving, whatever your role in the future, whatever your setting, wherever you find yourself, I hope that you too will promote a culture of care, being mindful of a spirit of justice and compassion in the service of others, and providing an environment where all have freedom and opportunity to achieve their full potential, as promoted in the mission statement. Sometimes we say these words and then we gloss over them and forget them, but really to live them is what is the culture of care, and it comes from your heart. It is truly a labour of love. You've worked very hard to achieve the award you're receiving today. There's no doubt about that. But I hope that you can now relax and enjoy the fruits of your labours, especially with your family and your friends today, many of whom will have supported you and helped you along the journey. And thank you to each of them too. And this is an extra little bit, President, that I didn't ask your permission to include, but many wished me to include it. I want to mention today is the last conferring ceremony that will be presided over by Professor Eugene Wall. It's no secret that Eugene is going to retire at the end of this academic year. He came here as a young lecturer in 1980, many years after I came here, Eugene. Big difference. Eugene was appointed Vice President of Academic Affairs in 1998 and has been President since 2018. I truly mean this, Eugene, when I say it. I know you for many years. I know you in my various roles here in the college. You have been a wonderful leader of the college during your tenure as President, where we've seen growth in student numbers, growth in the estate, and now, with newly instigated dialogues with the University of Limerick, the future strengthening of the relationship between these two fine higher education institutes, which we hope will bear fruition. So on behalf of the... Sorry. It may be a bit premature to say it because there will be, I'm sure, many occasions where a lot will be said about you, Eugene, and Eugene is a very humble man and probably won't want to hear all of the lovely things that will be said about him. But on behalf of the trustees, of the governing authority and the staff, I want to acknowledge the huge contribution to Mary Immaculate College that you have made over the past 43 years. I hope that's the correct figure, is it, Eugene? Yes. And wish you very well in your wish you well in your retirement when it does happen. But again, I say to you, the graduates today, enjoy your day. Heartiest congratulations again, and every good wish for the future. Cogard Kisokri. Garth Mila Mahagwef.
I now call upon Professor Noor Kennedy, Vice President for Research of the University of Limerick, to make her address.
Members of Governing Authority and Academic Council, distinguished guests, graduates, families, friends and colleagues, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this conferring ceremony. And I'm going to go slightly off script now, and I have to follow Anya's wonderful words to acknowledge on behalf of the University of Limerick our sincere gratitude to Eugene. Eugene has been a member of our governing authority and has been a fantastic friend and supporter of the University of Limerick. And I know, Eugene, there will be more opportunity in due course to thank you, but on this occasion I would also, on behalf of the university, thank you, but also personally just say that I have genuinely really enjoyed our formal and informal conversations. I think anyone who interacts with Eugene is left with that sense of passion and exuberance that you're also going to see in his speech for those of you who haven't had the opportunity. But genuinely, it is at all levels a pleasure to interact with Eugene, and I'd just like to acknowledge that on my own behalf, but also the University of Limerick. So thank you very much, Eugene. So at this stage, I will begin by offering my warmest congratulations to the graduates in completing this hugely important part of your learning journey. Today marks a milestone in your own personal development and further learning, but also in the support of the education of others. For you, the graduates of today, your educational journey may be continuing with further study, while for others it may end as you take your awards back to the workplace or start your working lives. Whatever path you have chosen, your success is hard-earned, highly valued, and above all, a credit to you and to your support network. No one gets to graduate with any type of award without a great deal of hard work, commitment, and some degree of self-sacrifice. All of you came to education with that basic desire to help others to fulfil their potential. And by fulfilling your own potential here at Mary Immaculate College, you are now equal to that task. You have put yourselves at the heart of this most valuable human endeavour to empower others to empower themselves. You have prevailed in your ambitions, and your graduation marks a significant milestone on your personal journey of growth and on your quest to fulfil your goals and nurture your aspirations. You should be very proud of your achievement. Your family, friends and tutors are also very proud of you, and together you should all savour this really wonderful moment. Your success and achievements through the various programmes you've taken will ensure that many generations to come will continue to prosper. Today is also a day to thank your tutors who've worked with such passion and commitment to educate the educators of tomorrow, and to thank everyone who stands behind you offering the support that cannot be measured. It's also a day to thank yourselves for having the perseverance to see the ambitions for your education through to the end. Today is a day also to have great pride in achieving your award and meeting the exacting standards of this institution. Remember also that your graduation today is of importance to society. Some of you may leave higher education to put into practice what you've learned to date and to develop your professional experience and expertise in novel and challenging contexts as part of a team, as leaders and engaged citizens. Others among you may continue now or later on your educational journey. Whatever route you choose, be confident in your choice and be open to the new learnings and experiences that you will encounter. Our social rejuvenation will be supported by the addition of people like you, bringing your skills, creativity and commitment into our educational settings. The young minds of tomorrow and all those you will educate across your careers are assured a professional and progressive learning and development experience. Making a difference and enhancing change are key goals and guiding attributes for us as educators. During your time at Mary Immaculate, you have developed many transferable skills that will enable you to make that difference and enhance that change. Today, you join a global community of the alumni from Limerick. the many people who contribute to and make a difference to the lives of so many people on a daily basis. More than ever, we need that sense of community to be sustained and enhanced to help us address the many imbalances and societal issues before us. The shared experience of being a graduate can give rise to future experiences that will enhance your life and the lives of others. I encourage you to seize those opportunities and value them. I also encourage you to build on your educational achievement to date and use this as a platform for continuing or lifelong learning and, moreover, for shaping the world of tomorrow. Together, as Anya has alluded to and Eugene will speak further about, our institutions place educational access at the heart of our missions. It is our role to ensure that anyone who has a passion or ability to learn can be enabled to do so. And we will continue to make education accessible to all, and we will continue in our pursuits of equality, diversity and inclusion. To end, as you know, having made it to this day, patience, determination and hard work will always bring success. And now you are equipped with the skill set and the tools to achieve further success and overcome challenges. You are also equipped with the skill set to help others overcome their challenges. That cannot be underestimated. I would like to wish you all now the very best for your continued journey in education, and congratulations to you all. Thank you.
I now call upon Professor Eugene Wall, President of Mary Immaculate College, to make his address.
Vice President Research of the University, Professor Norley Kennedy. Deputy Chairperson of the Trustees and on Tudros Rila, Dr. Anya Lawler. Sean Burke, one of our trustees. Faculty members, professional services staff, and students, members of An Tudros Rila. Distinguished guests, we have a number of distinguished guests here. I'd like to welcome Yvonne Keating, who is Chief Inspector in the Department of Education. She's accompanied by her colleague Gavin O'Leary, who is an Assistant Secretary in the department as well. Welcome to both of you. Delighted to have back with us this afternoon Dorothy McGinley, who is visiting here quite regularly. She was here this morning to present awards, and 2 weeks ago we had her here because she was on the selection board to choose the winners of the Aisling Murphy Scholarship, which is awarded jointly by MIC and by the INTO. And this year will be the first time we award that. As well as that, I'd like to say hello to Donegal Trassick, who's sitting in front of me. He is from Limerick and Clare ETB and a former graduate of the college, whom we're very proud of. Family, friends of the graduates, but most especially the graduates of the class of 2023 themselves, including many of them who are joining us online from distant parts. Farum fair Queen Fáilte Roy Villig, Gudi Sharmanas Brunta on Lay and you, Smorgum Virgo Luder, Aaron Law, Specialta Dargwid, Mocklane. So good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. I have deliberately and intentionally omitted one very important person from my remarks here, and that's my predecessor, Sister Angela. She's going to kill me because she's been doing this for the last year. She's been harassing me for the last year. Tomorrow is Sister Angela's 90th birthday. Okay. I know at your age you're well capable of coming up here, but I'm going down to present some flowers to you. She warned me not to do that. She said it's most improper to disclose a lady's age. So this afternoon, as we come to the final one of our 5 graduation ceremonies which have been taking place over the last week, we've graduates from 16 different programmes in the Faculty of Education, from undergraduate level up to and including doctoral level. Indeed, over these last 2 days of conferring we will have conferred 26 PhD candidates with doctoral degrees, and 10 of them are sitting there resplendent in their red robes this afternoon. So the 155th annual conferring commencement ceremony of Wells College, a liberal arts college in central New York State, took place on the 25th of May last year. I'm sure you've never heard of Wells College. The President's address was delivered by its President, Dr. Jonathan Gibraltar, and it lasted approximately 6 minutes. I was thinking of my own one there, actually. During his brief address, President Gibraltar covered several of the key points that are typical to be found in a conferring address, such as congratulating the graduates on their accomplishments, setting out some of the challenges that lay ahead, thanking those who supported the graduates during their academic journeys, and wishing them well in the future. So in this appropriate vein and at this juncture, let me extend, as previous speakers have done, sincere and well-deserved congratulations to the class of 2023 for the superb accomplishments. Most of you actually enrolled in the college in the months preceding the onset of the COVID pandemic, and your studies were disrupted to a greater extent than any other group. Notwithstanding the formidable challenges, you prevailed. You trod a lonelier and more isolated path in very difficult circumstances. And in saluting your commendable achievements, I would also like to pay tribute to those amongst your family and friends who supported and encouraged you, especially during the arduous first year of the pandemic, with all of its uncertainties and all of its anxieties. Those people are rightly entitled to bask in the reflected glory of your success, and I'd invite you to turn round and express your appreciation to them. Do you know, at the morning session when I invited the group to do it, they gave a half-hearted response. But you outdid them. That's even more half-hearted. Do it again, come on. That's more like it. That's real gratitude. Okay, so turning back to President Gibraltar and his brief speech. As he neared the end of it, he confessed to his bemused audience that virtually everything that he'd said up to that point had been written by ChatGPT, which, as many of you will know, is an artificial AI chatbot that's capable of engaging in human-like conversational dialogue. Full disclosure, okay? Chatbox has written my graduation address. No, it hasn't. I did ask ChatGPT to write me a conferring address for the education graduates of MIC, however, to see what it would do. And in less than 20 seconds, it produced a speech of 445 words and 10 paragraphs. Okay? In fact, because I wasn't satisfied with the first one, it produced multiple speeches by my simply clicking on the regenerate button. Now, I have to concede that all of the speeches were well composed, but they were laden with platitudes. And as you may have noticed, I decided against using any of these speeches. But not to lose the moment, thinking that a graduation poem might suit the occasion, I asked ChatGPT for a graduation poem, and in return, it rapidly produced 7 verses, the first of which was, and this is for graduates of MIC, "In halls of wisdom where knowledge blooms, where dreams take flight dispelling glooms, at Mary Immaculate, hearts so bright, education guardians a radiant light." Now, I'm going to stop there in the interest of preserving academic decency, and I won't burden you with further verses from the poem. And by the way, if you require a CV for a job application, you can just give it your details. It will produce a fine CV, but be warned, your confidentiality is at risk if you do so. Now, don't be deceived by these last glib remarks, because even at this early stage of its development, ChatGPT is certainly a powerful tool which is both useful and, I have to admit, enjoyable to use. As I found out when I asked it to list some of the key challenges in Irish education in preparation for a talk that I was giving with Emer last week in DCU, it answered It answered, it produced a list, and it engaged with a range of follow-up questions. It challenged some of my assertions, and it admitted to errors when I pointed them out. On occasions when it couldn't answer, it invited me to check for further information and told me to go, for example, to the Department of Education or the HEA or whatever. And it's also notable that it only brings you up as far as September 2021. So if you look for any facts after that, you don't get them. Overall, its efficiency at gathering and presenting, and dare I say it, analysing information is very impressive. It's easy to see how such a resource could lead to intellectual laziness. Do the work for you. The earliest AI chatbots began about 60 years ago. So when ChatGPT 3.5, there are two versions available at present, 3.5 and 4. ChatGPT 3.5 is free, whereas you pay for 4. When it burst on the scene last November, it did so to much critical fanfare. And it reminded me of Vladimir Lenin's reported comment that there are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when decades happen. To most people, it came like a bolt out of the blue, and it spurred panic in higher education about academic cheating and integrity. There was, and there remains, an understandable concern that a student, any student at any level, can complete an assignment by simply typing one or more requests into ChatGPT. If you do it piecemeal and you do it cleverly, it can be tailored to your specific needs to produce an entire dissertation. Now, I'm not supposed to be telling you this, and it's fortunate that you've all graduated at this stage. Clearly, this poses an enormous threat to the validity of the assessment system, and most higher educations are working, but not successfully so far, but they're working to counteract it. Despite this, almost a year on, concerns about plagiarism still persist. Recently, Minister Norma Foley announced that she's shelved plans to introduce teacher-based assessment as part of a reformed senior cycle programme, citing the threat of artificial intelligence as the reason for the change. Now, not surprisingly, the initial focus in education circles on the role of ChatGPT was primarily defensive and negative. In the flurry of concern and uncertainty, sight was lost of the far-reaching changes that generative artificial intelligence will most certainly bring about in the years ahead. Artificial intelligence will ultimately and inevitably bring about profound transformation in society and in the workplace, especially in the fields of healthcare, education, transport, manufacturing and finance. Now, we're still at the foothills of a very rapidly evolving landscape, and there's still limited awareness of the scale of the looming changes amongst a largely unsuspecting public. I don't think most people in the room probably are aware of the changes that are impending. The changes will gather pace. So what you're seeing now is only the early stages of what's coming. It'll gather pace as generative AI becomes exponentially more powerful and more sophisticated. Unlike existing systems, future AI systems are likely to have the capacity to learn independently. Okay? And not only that, what's crucial is that they will have the ability to self-program without the need for human intervention. And that is a seismic shift and a seismic change. This breakthrough is likely to open up extraordinary new horizons. Advances in one field of AI, robotics, will allow them, and I'll give you some examples, to converse naturally with humans in ways that will make Alexa seem quite primitive. To work alongside humans to perform domestic tasks, and I'm not talking about cutting your grass or vacuuming your floors. To do your grocery shopping. Routinely conduct surgical procedures with precision. Take over a wide range of manufacturing roles, including some service roles in hospitality. If you go down to the Jasmine Palace, you can see their little robot that brings out the food and brings back the dirty plates afterwards, and it's going a long way beyond that. And most importantly, well, not most importantly, but one of the key areas is autonomously drive a wide range of vehicles, possibly even aircraft. I was having a discussion with my young granddaughters recently, and we were talking about and speculating about whether they will ever have to learn to drive a car, because the predicted timescale for autonomous vehicles is between 10 and 20 years. So there's a possibility, if it were to come in the early years, that they would simply get into a car which was programmed effectively to take them where they wanted to go. Now, as you sit there thinking skeptically that this is either sensationalist science fiction or something drawn from the Matrix, or worse still, a hoax, let me share just a couple of points with you. In their analysis of the likely impact of AI in the workplace in the United States, the McKinsey Corporation recently forecast that by 2030, bear in mind that's only 7 years ahead, up to 30% of hours that are currently worked across the US economy could be automated, and 12 million occupational transitions may be needed by 2030 as people leave shrinking occupations. They also point out that workers in lower wage jobs are up to 14 times more likely to need to change occupations than those in the highest wage positions. You may know that the Writers Guild of America, which represents more than 11,000 screenwriters, were on strike for almost 5 months this year, leading to the cancellation of many films, TV shows and podcasts. And a main issue behind the strike was the writers' fears that ChatGPT would be used to generate scripts and thereby replace them. You may also have seen in the media during the week, for example, the concern about deep fakes. In other words, that they can create a video using your face or a politician's face and simply generate the language separately. In other words, they won't be authentic, they will be, as the term suggests, fakes. A few weeks ago, I was talking to a group of medical doctors about the future impact of generative AI on medicine and healthcare. And they readily acknowledge that AI will lead to significant changes in how patients are interviewed. When you go into the doctor's surgery, how you're interviewed and how the diagnosis takes place. For example, you're likely to get to a point where doctors' decision-making and their diagnosis, that gets simulated, and the algorithms that doctors use for making their diagnosis can be performed by a computer. I'm told there is one such interface at present. With the recent completion of the Human Genome Project, which has mapped the entirety of the human genetic structure, it will pave the way for profound improvements in preventative medicine and in medical and surgical interventions. This is already leading to personalised healthcare, whereby healthcare decisions and treatments for individual patients, for example, cancer patients, are adapted to their particular genetic makeup, to their lifestyle, and to their environmental background. Now, as education graduates, you may be relieved to note that although AI has the definite potential to radically transform classroom instruction, learning, and assessment, the actual net number of jobs in the education sector is predicted to grow. The most consequential change in education practice is likely to occur in the balance between teacher-led instruction on the one hand and an individualised pupil learning that's delivered and managed by AI on the other. Now, for now, it's important to recognise AI has not reached the point where the quality of lessons would allow this to happen routinely, nor are the classroom the learning management systems sufficiently advanced. So that cannot happen now. But I invite you to imagine classrooms where for significant parts of the day, each student is working independently with voice-activated chatbots. In other words, the child talks to the computer or the device, possibly in many years ahead to the robot, but talks to the AI, and the AI responds, and there's an interactive conversations. Students will progress through lessons and high-quality content at their own pace, monitored and formatively assessed by AI. Proper pacing will help to avoid failure for weaker pupils, because that's often a source of failure for pupils. The class pace that the teacher's setting is going too fast for the pupils, so we can correct that. And it'll also allow for highly able students to engage with more advanced material, progress onto off-the-line material. Now, this sound education logic has actually existed for decades. I remember talking about this when I came here in 1980 and 1990. They had programmed learning at that stage, and this was all regarded as some sort of up-in-the-sky, pie-in-the-sky nonsense. I can safely say, as somebody who was always a skeptic of it up to now, actually believe the means are there for this to happen at this particular point. Because up to now, it's been entirely impracticable in classrooms, and you know that better than anybody. But generative AI is bringing us to the tipping point, and ChatGPT is just the tip of that iceberg. Now, AI experts are not suggesting that this is going to happen overnight. It won't. But as Rudy Dornbusch, the German economist, cleverly put it, things take longer to happen than you think they will, and then they happen faster than you thought they could. Now, of course, teacher education and teacher expertise across all of the dimensions of teaching will remain essential. And it won't be nullified by AI. So I'm not suggesting that the sort of skill sets and the competencies that you've acquired here are going to count for nothing. Of course they're not. But there will be changes that will be required in it. There are many, many core dimensions of what happens in classrooms that will continue to require social interaction amongst pupils and amongst teachers. That's not going to change. As well as practical dimensions to subjects such as visual arts, performance arts, physical education and STEM education. But even these areas will be enhanced by AI, and virtual reality will play an increasing role. Imagine, for example, in a second level school classroom doing science and doing science experiments and being able to do all of that in a virtual environment, and the quality transformation that you can get as a result of that. The reinvention of the teacher's role, which this will involve, will necessarily involve professional development and support. At the same time, it has to be acknowledged that there are endless ethical and legal risks associated with these changes, but they're going to have to be faced and they're going to have to be addressed. To take just one example, a serious challenge lies in ensuring that a digital divide does not leave some schools, some regions, or indeed some countries that are resource poor, leaves those countries trailing behind. Some of you will be aware that serious fears have been expressed about the runaway progress of AI and the potential social, economic and political risks that it poses for the future. Some have warned apocalyptically of the possibility that AI could ultimately lead to the extinction of humans. I was listening to an expert on an RTE Sunday morning programme there recently talking about the power of AI. And he was asked about what did he think of the threat posed about artificial intelligence, and he said he was more concerned about human stupidity than artificial intelligence. A statement issued 7 months ago by the Future of Life Institute and signed by 1,000 scientists, AI experts and tech leaders, and that number has now risen to 33,000, called for a 6-month moratorium on the development of more powerful AI tools. Models, so as to allow for proper evaluation of what they consider to be the dangers of AI. So whatever happens, the technological genie that is AI is well and truly out of the bottle. It will most assuredly impact on your professional work as teachers in classrooms and in early child settings, and you're going to be required to adapt. There are strong grounds at this stage for remaining optimistic that the forthcoming changes will be benign, and if properly harnessed, will lead to the betterment of schooling and the lives of children. For this to happen, the future will need to be designed and controlled by the educators and the educational community, and not as has tended to be the case in the past, driven by technologists who don't understand curriculum and who don't understand pedagogy. Before concluding with some words of thanks and appreciation, I want to actually do what I told you I didn't do. So I kind of lied to you. I said I wouldn't use ChatGPT for the graduation address, but I actually did ask it to tell me what are the consequences of this for teaching. And it said, this is what it said in terms of the address to the education students. And it's good, and you'll see why it's impressive. It says, as you embark on your journey as educators, remember that the future is not about technology. It's about people, about connections, and about the unwavering belief in the potential of every student you encounter. AI can assist, it can augment, but it will never replace the unique bond between a teacher and a student, a bond forged through inspiration, encouragement, and understanding. AI's got it right. And now I'd like to thank the Mary Immaculate College staff members from the academic faculties and the professional services departments who've worked with you over these past years to help you arrive at this happy day. Their dedication and expertise has helped to transform you into the skilled, competent, aware individuals that you are today. Please join me and do so in enthusiastically. Please join me in acknowledging their professionalism and commitment. I want to thank especially Vice President Research, Professor Nora Lee Kennedy, for her presence with us at this conferring ceremony. Also for her very gracious comments, personal comments. Thank you very much for that, much appreciated. We very much value our relationship with the University of Limerick, with whom we've been affiliated for 30 years. As Anya has pointed out earlier on, the growth and transformation in this college in that 30 years has been absolutely phenomenal. We've gone from having 297 students back then to more than 5,000 now. It was interesting to hear you say about we now have graduations in 55 programs. Back in those days we had 1 program and sometimes 2 programs. So that change has been very much facilitated by our relationship with the University of Limerick. We are working with them. We're in advanced negotiations with the university to bring about closer structural linkages with the university, and we're very optimistic that they will lead to changes and developments that will be beneficial to both institutions. I also want to thank Anya for her very kind comments. Again, I appreciate them. When you said I'm a modest man, I was reminded of the quip that somebody described Clement Attlee, the leader of the Labour Party, as a modest man, and Churchill replied, with much to be modest about. For their contribution to today's ceremony, I want to thank in particular the mace bearer of the University of Limerick, John O'Neill, and Mary Darmody, our sign interpreter. So perhaps both of those could wave to you. So in final conclusion, let me, on behalf of your alma mater, wish you all the best for your lives and careers today and in the future. Go dugad di a gath rach agus banarti ver vor dros sail, ta sulagam go mé lá jasaguv, guramila mai of guv galer.
I call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Professor Emer Ring, to present the candidates for the conferring of undergraduate and taught postgraduate awards in education.
Vice President, the Academic Council of the University has been satisfied that the following candidates are worthy to be conferred with undergraduate and taught postgraduate awards. Therefore, I present the candidates and request you to confer the awards on them.
And our first programme this afternoon is the Bachelor of Education, and our first graduate to come to the podium is Eva Cashin. Fianna Cullinan. Nicola English. Jack McCarthy. Kate McCarthy. Kate Louise McCarthy. Katie McCarthy. Ciara McDade. Orla McDermott. Owen McDonough. Shauna McDonough. Gerard McEnery. Alva McGlone. Padraig McGrath. Alana McGregor. Tyrone McGuan. Niamh McHale. Kieran McKeough. Niamh McMahon. Rory McMahon. Jack McNally. Orla McNamara. Evie McPhillips. Molly McQueen. Abby McTague. Alana Medley. Claire Meehan. Orla Merrigan Fitzgerald. Rachel Moffat. Quiva Maloney. Ciara Margaret Maloney. Ciara Marie Maloney. Jennifer Maloney. Laura Maloney. Anita Malochney. Aisling Moran. Ciara Moran. Kate Moran. Colin Moriarty. Kate Moriarty. Ciara Moynihan. Lorna Mulcahy. Ciara Mulgannon. Emily Mulhare. Victoria Mulqueen. Lisa Mulvihill. Aisling Munnelly. Aoife Murphy. Christine Murphy. Hannah Murphy. Jean Murphy. Mary Murphy. Trina Murphy. William Murphy. Ciarán Murray. Emer Murray. Anna Myers. John Nash. Annie Kohasig. Laura Nichalig. Roisin Nichalig. Emer Nichwalán. Ida Ichorin. Katie Nigonavon. Muireann Ní Laharta. Cuiva Ní Lainchig. Sheila Ní Bheathair. Cuiva Ní Rian. Anna Ní Chonaiche. Lara Nolan. Oisin O'Keevan. Marie O'Connor. Ciara Louise O'Brien. Lauren O'Brien. Sinead O'Brien. Shiva O'Brien. Surika O'Brien. William O'Brien. Amy O'Callaghan. Grace O'Callaghan. Jill O'Callaghan. Maeve O'Callaghan. Patrick O'Callaghan. Laura O'Carroll. Iseult O'Connell. Iseult's actually the daughter of our Director of School Placement, Neil O'Connell, so I'm sure all the family are very proud of her today. Anna O'Connell. Ryan O'Connell. Aisling O'Connor. Bree O'Connor. Diane O'Connor. Giles O'Connor. Maura O'Connor. Rory O'Connor. Carol O'Doherty. Aisling O'Donnell. Jack O'Donoghue. Martina O'Donoghue. Niamh O'Donoghue. Una O'Donovan. Emma O'Driscoll. Sarah O'Driscoll. Tig O'Flaherty. Aideen O'Flynn. Laura O'Gorman. Grace O'Gorman Rothwell. Alison O'Grady. Shannon O'Halloran. Derval O'Keefe. Mia O'Keefe. Rebecca O'Keefe. Cian O'Loughlin. Ciarán O'Mahony. Rachel O'Malley. Sarah O'Malley. Molly O'Neill. Arlene O'Sullivan. Ciara Adele O'Sullivan. Claire O'Sullivan. Emer O'Sullivan. Ellie O'Sullivan. Jerry O'Sullivan. Michael O'Sullivan. Caitlin O'Toole. Niamh Owens. Enda Parlin. Maria Phelan. Rachel Pope. Cormac Power. Owen Power. Niamh Purcell. Ellen Quilty. Keenan Quinn. Niamh Quinn. Ronan Quirk. Grania Redmond. Anya Riley. Chloe Richardson. Aoife Roach. Christopher Roach. Megan Ronan. Anna Ryan. John Ryan. Johnny Ryan. Molly Ryan. Ned Ryan. Sarah Ryan. Megan Shanahan. Porrick Shanahan. Aisling Shanney. Eleanor Sheehan. Emily Sheehy. Dylan Shine. Catherine Smith. Leah Vaughan Spillane. Sean Spillane. Ellen Stack. Seamus Stakelum. Shaneen Stapleton. Lynn Sweetnam. Philip Talty. Carla Tanner. Aoife Taylor. Saoirse Tehan. Emer Thornton. Amy Tobin. Anne Toher. Orla Torpy. Ciara Tyrrell. Emma Waddell. Cian Wadding. Aisling Walsh. James Walsh. Michelle Walsh. Aisling Wharton. Grace Whelan. And Joan Hennessy. Let's have a big round of applause for all our new Bachelor of Education graduates today. My goodness. Cogardicus. Our next programme is the Bachelor of Arts in Education Studies, and our awardee this morning is Hannah Hurley-Hafferkamp. So the Diploma in Education Studies, this programme is conferred in absentia, and our next programme this afternoon is the Bachelor of Education in Education and Psychology, and the first graduate to come to the podium this afternoon is Niamh Blake. Laura Ann Brazel. Jack Clifford. Lucy Jean Coffey. Yvonne Mary Collins. Davina Evelyn Connolly. Alice Elizabeth Corcoran. Aoife Doody. Gemma Dewig. Vicky Duncan. Murren Farrell. Joy Marie Fahelly. Leah Hazel Flynn. Emer Ann Hanrahan. Anya Keane. Lucy Callagher. Aoife Lancaster. Maeve Liston. Mairead May. Sive Mia McCarthy. Amy Mulrooney. Lauren Sheila Murphy. Karen Murray. Cleana May O'Connell. Emer O'Connor. Jennifer O'Donovan. Aoife O'Dowd. Niamh O'Dowd. Ava Marie Ormond. Katrina Rafter. Ella Claire Richardson. Sarah Ryan. Jade Summers. Suzanne Tracy. And finally, Laura Walsh. Big round of applause for our Bachelor of Education, Education and Psychology. Well done. Well done. Okay, so we move on to the Graduate Diploma in Adult and Further Education, and our first graduate to the podium this afternoon is Claire Bolton. Maxine Brown. Rachel Butler. Leanne Greensmith. Loretto Kavanagh. Maeve Organ. Sharon Elizabeth Ormond. Rebecca Parrott. And Emma White. Our next programme is the Graduate Certificate in Digital Leadership in Education, and our graduand this afternoon is Sinead Morgan. The Graduate Diploma in Digital Leadership in Education, this programme is conferred in absentia. We now move on to the Master of Education in Digital Leadership in Education, and our first graduand this afternoon is Kate McSweeney. David Joseph O'Mahony. Aisling Walsh. Aisling is actually the daughter of another lecturer in MIC, Deirdre Bannock, so we're all delighted for her too. Our next programme this afternoon is the Masters of Arts in STEM Education, STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, and our first graduate to the podium this afternoon is Shona Francis. Anna Gloucester. Idel Gormley. Sean Hogan. In absentia, Jonathan Martin. Up, Jonathan. Cogordicus. Helena O'Connor. Niamh O'Dea. And Maeve O'Dwyer. Congratulations to all of them. Right, our next programme this afternoon is the Master of Education, and the first graduand to the podium is Catherine Bennett. Grania Burke. Anna Louise Burke. Erin Coffey. Ciara Gilmore. Maria Gleeson. Niamh Harrington. Orla O'Gorman. Our next programme is the Graduate Diploma in Education. These candidates are conferred in absentia. The Graduate Diploma in Education, Leadership and Management. These candidates are conferred in absentia. And we move on to the Master of Education in Education, Leadership and Management. And our first graduand to the podium this afternoon is Catherine Barrett. Brian Clancy. Alva Kennedy. And Claudia O'Donoghue. Graduate Diploma in Literacy Education. This programme is conferred in absentia, and we move on to the Master of Education in Literacy Education. And the first graduate to the podium this afternoon is Kate Brennan. Colette Crowley. Amy Flynn. Ronan Lynch. Sarah O'Callaghan. And Ross O'Connor. Let's have a big round of applause for all our graduates on our top postgraduate programmes. What a wonderful achievement. Professor Emer Ring, Dean of the Faculty of Education, will now present the candidates for the doctoral degrees by research and thesis.
Vice President, the Academic Council of the University has been satisfied that the following candidates are worthy to be conferred with doctoral degrees by research and thesis in education. Therefore, I present the candidates and request you to confer the awards on them.
So the doctoral candidates will be presented with their caps by their supervisors, and then they will be presented with their parchments by the Vice President for Research at the University of Limerick, Professor Norley Kennedy. So our first doctoral candidate to receive their award this afternoon is Dr. Emma Louise Bohan, who has successfully, give us a minute now, there'll be loads of time, come up. So she has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the supervision of Dr. Siobhan O'Sullivan, MIC. The title of the thesis is Nothing About Me Without Me, exploring how educational psychologists in Ireland elicit and represent the voices of school-aged children and young people with special educational needs. Dr. Bohan will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Siobhan O'Sullivan. You can now clap. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Yeah, turn to face the camera there. Yeah, lovely. Great stuff. Thank you. Well done. Dr. Rachel Brown has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Siobhan O'Sullivan and Dr. Trace Brophy. The title of the thesis is The Perceptions of Irish School Personnel of Critical Incident Training and Critical Incident Response from School Psychological Services and Other Services, an Appreciative Inquiry. Dr. Rachel Brown will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Siobhan O'Sullivan. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Well done. Dr. James Groark has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Trace Brophy, MIC, and Dr. John Perry, UL. The title of the thesis is Knowledge, Attitudinal and Behavioural Effects of a Climate Change Intervention on Secondary School Students. The doctoral candidate will now be presented with his cap by Dr. Trace Brophy. Congratulations. And he'll receive his parchment from Professor Kennedy. Lovely photograph. Well done, everyone. Dr. Owen Hassett has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Trace Brophy and Dr. Aoife McLaughlin, MIC. The title of the thesis is Examining Educational Psychologists' Perspectives of Their Role in the Republic of Ireland, an exploratory study using activity theory. Dr. Owen Hassett will now be presented with his cap by Dr. Aoife McLaughlin. And he'll receive his parchment from Professor Kennedy. Well done, Owen. Dr. Katrina Kennedy has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the supervision of Dr. Fionnuala Tynan, MIC. The title of the thesis is The Experience of Irish Medium and English Medium Primary Schools for Children with Down Syndrome. The doctoral candidate will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Fionnuala Tynan. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Big smiles all round. Well done. Dr. Katrina Mulcahy has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Trevor O'Brien and Dr. Niamh Higgins, MIC. The title of the thesis is, Does the Weaving Wellbeing Programme Affect the Academic Achievement and Engagement of Irish Primary School Students? The doctoral candidate will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Trevor O'Brien. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Well done. Dr. Orla O'Callaghan has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the supervision of Dr. Fionnuala Tynan, MIC. The title of the thesis is An Evaluation of the School-Based Wellbeing Intervention Welcome to Wellbeing for Young Children. Dr. O'Callaghan will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Fionnuala Tynan. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Well done. Dr. Elaine O'Keefe has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Maria Dervin, MIC, and Dr. Keely White, HSC. The title of the thesis is Exploring the Impact of Educating Students About Autism in a Secondary School. Dr. Elaine O'Keefe will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Keely White. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Well done. Congratulations. Dr. Kate O'Neill has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the supervision of Dr. Suzanne Parkinson, MIC, Dr. John Perry, UL, and Dr. Keely White, HSC. The title of the thesis is What is Strong Over What is Wrong? An exploration of Irish educational psychologists' use and perceptions of strengths-based practice. The doctoral candidate will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Suzanne Parkinson. And she'll receive her parchment from Professor Kennedy. Congratulations. Dr. Ciara Raleigh has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research under the joint supervision of Dr. Therese Brophy and Dr. Paul Mulcahy, MIC. The title of the thesis is What are Primary School Teachers' Attitudes Towards Introvert Students? The doctoral candidate will now be presented with her cap by Dr. Therese Brophy. And she'll receive her parchment from the VP Research, Professor Norley Kennedy. Well done. Well done, Ciara. So maybe you have one big round of applause for all our wonderful new MIC PhDs, new doctors in the house. I now have the great pleasure of introducing our special awards. The first award this afternoon is the College Gold Medal on the Bachelor of Education programme. The Gold Medal is awarded to the graduate who achieved first place on the Bachelor of Education programme. The President of MIC, Professor Eugene Wall, will present the medal. And the recipient this year is Tyrone McGawan. Well done, Tyrone. You're making him come back across the stage, Eugene. Smile for the camera. Well done. Hogardacas. The College Gold Medal on the Bachelor of Education in Education and Psychology programme. This gold medal is awarded to the graduate who achieved first place on the Bachelor of Education in Education and Psychology. The President of MIC will now present the medal, and the recipient this year is Amy Mulrooney. Well done, Amy. Our next award is the Dúis Carlisle Agus Blake. I welcome Miss Yvonne Keating, Chief Inspector of the Department of Education, to present this prize. It is presented to the graduate with the highest cumulative QPV in the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Education and Psychology programmes. The QPV is calculated on the student's performance in core education modules. And the recipient this year on the Bachelor of Education in Education and Psychology programmes is Katrina Rafter. Well done. Our next award is the Bound Veer Foster. This is presented by the Irish National Teachers Organisation, the INTO, to the graduate who is awarded first place in curriculum education modules. There are separate awards for the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Education in Psychology programmes. I call upon Ms. Dorothy McGinley, President of the INTO, to present these medals, and the recipient on the Bachelor of Education programme is Ellen Stack. Well done, Ellen. And the recipient of the Bachelor of Education in Educational Psychology, coming once again up to the podium, is Katrina Rafter. Well done, Katrina. Our next award is the Kieran Burke Fellowship. This fellowship is awarded by the College in memory of the late Kieran Burke, lecturer in psychology at MIC from 1974 until 1994. It is presented to the graduate who achieved the highest cumulative QCA in the educational psychology and dissertation modules on the Bachelor of Education in Education and Psychology programme. I call upon Professor Eugene Wall, President of MIC, to present this year's award to Lucy Kelleher. Well done, Lucy. As our ceremony draws to a close, I would like to extend my gratitude for everybody involved in today's event. As you can imagine, putting together an event like this takes absolutely weeks of work. And it is impossible to name everyone, but as VPAA here at MIC, I would like to extend my appreciation to staff in the following areas: Buildings and Estates, ICT Services, the President's Office, Strategic Communications and Marketing, Student Academic Administration, MISU, our Students' Union, Mary Darmody, our signer, and John O'Neill, the mace bearer from MIC. So maybe a round of applause for all of them. Finally, as we heard earlier, this is Professor Wall's final conferring ceremony before he retires as President of MIC. No doubt there will be many accolades paid to Eugene over the coming months before he retires, but it would be remiss of me not to pay tribute to him today, marking as it does his last conferring ceremony. On my behalf and on behalf of the entire college community, we would like to acknowledge and sincerely thank Eugene for his commitment and tireless efforts in serving Mary Immaculate College over a 43-year period. We wish you, Eugene, an abundance of health and happiness in the future, and we might all stand and show Eugene a bit of our appreciation this afternoon. Cogart the Eugene, on a wonderful career. So finally, it remains for me just to wish you all well. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope you savour every moment of this graduation day. Just to take you through the next steps. So I'll be asking you in a minute to stand for the national anthem. Then after the national anthem is finished, the podium party will leave. The new graduates will follow, process out after them, and then we'll exit the room in an orderly fashion. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy every minute of it, and Cogordicus Elig. We might stand now for the national anthem, please.
Amen.